So before I start the new session, let me brief out the previous session what I have discussed. So in the previous session we have discussed about multiplexer. So what is the multiplexer? How to design multiplexer. Then we have started with how to implement Boolean function using multiplexer. So one more design we are going to discuss right now. Suppose you have 4:2:1 mux and you have to build 4:1 mux. So you are going to design. So let me start with designing 4:1 mux using 2:1 mux. As we know, for 4:1 mux we require 4 input lines, 2 selection lines and 1 output line. But we have in 2:1 mux 2 input lines, 1 selection line and 1 output line. So now let us discuss how the designing is done. So you can see here I have used 2:1 mux, one 2:1 mux, the other 2:1 mux. So one more 2:1 mux here. So the first mux has got 2 inputs. The other second mux has also has 2 inputs. So together we have 4 inputs and we have 1 selection line. So say this is output y0, output y1. So first mux we have I0, I1, y0. Second mux we have I2, I3 and y1. So whenever this S0 is 0, so the first 2 lines are selected. So when S0 is 0, you will get I0 and I2 at y0 and y1. So here in this stage you have once again 2 outputs generated from this 2:1 mux. So now once again I am going to select this out of these 2 output a single output by once again taking care of S1. So in this case my S1 is 0. When S1 is 0, then y0 is selected at the output side. So S0, S1, 0, 0, y0 is selected. So even though we are using 2:1 mux, 3 2:1 mux, so together it is acting as 4:1 mux. S0 and S1 act simultaneously and you will get output at the final multiplexer, that is third 2:1 mux. So take second example. In the second example we have S0 1. So S0 1 means I1 will be selected. So let me remove this. So let me design the second one, second component. So here it is I1. So let me use the second one, second combination. I will take S0 is 1. So if S0 is 1 and S1 is 0, so I will treat this as 0 and this will be 1. Both S0 is 0. S0 is 1, S1 is 0. So S0 is 1 means I1 is selected, S0 is 1 means I3 is selected. So at the output side you have I1 over here, I3 over here. When it comes to this mux, S1 is 0. So you are going to get output as I1. This is selected. This is how you are going to generate using 2:1 mux. So totally it will be 4:1 mux operation. So let me discuss about the next design. In the next design you can just see the same over here. We have used designing 8:1 mux using 2 4:1 mux and 1 2:1 mux. So 4:1 mux has got 4 inputs. So similarly over here, and 2 selection lines. Together we give this input as D0 till D3 and D4 till D7. So totally it is D0 to D7 will be having 8 inputs. So selection lines, whenever I give 0 0, the first one will be selected. So here also the same, D0 and D4 both are selected. So both comes here to the input of the final 2:1 mux. Once again, the S2 is 0 means the first one will be selected. So that is D0 is redirected to the output side. So we can design mux, higher order mux using lower order mux. So no need of buying or designing the higher order directly. So with the help of lower order mux, you can design higher order mux by combining their inputs, selection inputs, and taking output and again combine to the second level. So this is how we can design the higher order mux. So this is one IC. So you will get IC 74 LSI LS157, which is a 2 input multiplexer. So once again you can just see over here we have multiple inputs here with 2 sets of combinations, I0A, I1A, I1B, I0B. So we have 2 sets of inputs, I0AB CD, I1AB CD. So together we have 2 sets of inputs and 1 selection line, 1 enable, which is active low. This bubble or inverter represents active low. So this IC is going to operate whenever I apply active low input to E. So then only this IC is enabled. So we have 2 sets of outputs here, YA, YB, YA, YB, YC and YD. So you can just see this truth table. So whenever your enable pin is I, no matter whatever may be your selection line, you don't get any output. So all your output is held low. So whenever I apply active low, that is low signal to enable, since it is active low, then when I apply selection line low, then what is my output? So at the output side I can get I0A, I0B, right? So I will be getting 4 sets of output when I apply low input to selection line. So of course, in order to enable this pin, this IC, this enable should be active low. So when the selection line is I, you will get, when the selection line is I, you will get the another set of outputs. So in this multiplexer we have 2 sets of outputs, YA, 2 sets of inputs, and we have 4 outputs. All one set of inputs are generated when selection line is 0. The other set of inputs are generated when the selection line is high. So at the output side you will get I0A, B, C and D, I1A, B, C and D based on selection line 0, selection line I, and enable as active low. No matter whatever you give for selection line 0 or 1, If your enable pin is high, so all your output is held low. You are not going to get any output. So this is the pin configuration of 74LS157. It is a 2 input multiplexer. So now one more implementation I can generate using 8:1 mux. So let us take up a Boolean function. So we are generating this logic Boolean function using 8:1 mux. So you can just see I have taken the equation f where we have this terms. So these terms are entered in the truth table. Wherever these terms are there, I will be entering logic 1. So this term represents min terms. So since there are 4 variables A, B, C, D, I am going to take 4 variable inputs. So 4 variable inputs, and that function is I am going to write the output side. So I have taken all 16 combinations. Since we have 4 variable, I have taken all 16 combinations. So you can just see here A complement, B complement, C complement and D. So A complement, B complement, C complement and D. So for that I am going to write logic 1. So wherever I am using this terms, I will be writing logic 1. So we have here A complement, B complement, C and D. So A complement, B complement, C and D. So here I am going to write logic 1. So similarly I write for all the terms. We have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 terms. So I will be writing for all these 8 terms logic 1. So finally I am implementing this 4 variable into 3 variable. Since I am using 8:1 mux, so 8:1 mux will be having 3 selection lines as I discussed in the previous session. So that's why I am going to reduce this 16 variable to 16 to 8. So how I am going to reduce? I will combine 2. So A, B, C I will be taking as an 8:1 mux selection lines S0, S1, S2, and the D, the last variable, is treated as to the input to the multiplexer. Since we have 8 inputs, so I am going to divide this truth table into 2 each to make 8 combinations. So first 2, wherever there is 0 and 1, I am going to write this as a map entered variable D. Whenever there is 1 and 0, I am going to write its D complement. Whenever both the zeros, we have logic 0. Whenever both the ones, we have logic 1. So finally I am generating 8 inputs out of this 8 outputs out of this 16 outputs. So these outputs are in terms of the variable D or the logic 0 and 1. So this, the first output is connected as an input to the first input to the multiplexer. So D is connected to I0. Once again the same D is connected to I1. So for I2 D bar is connected, that is D complement is connected. For I3, I4 it is shorted and it is connected to logic 0. For I5 it is directly connected to D. For I6 and I7 we are going to connect as logic 1. So finally this 8:1 mux has got 3 input variables selection lines, and the fourth one acts as an input to the multiplexer. So as we give these combinations, you are going to generate the output F based on this truth table. So this is how we can generate a logic function which is a 4 variable using 8:1 mux. So now let us switch over to the demultiplexer. So what is a demultiplexer? So once again it is a combinational logic circuit which has got only one input and many outputs. So you can apply control signals here. By applying this control signals, we can send this single input signal to one of the output lines. It is just reverse of operation of mux. So let me discuss about this operation of demultiplexer by using block diagram. So we have demultiplexer with n outputs and m selection line, and we have only single input. So we can just tell there are multiple variations available. So 1:2, 1:4, 1:16 and 1:32, as such demultiplexers are available. So let us discuss the operation of demultiplexer. So how exactly we are going to design demultiplexer? So let us discuss the operation of demultiplexer. So we have demux. As I said, we have only one input, many outputs, and we have control signals. So here we are going to send this input to one of these output lines. So we have output lines, we have control signals here. So we have over here m control lines and n output lines. So where n is equal to, the relation between this m and n is nothing but 2 power m. So whenever you have m is equal to 2, so I will be having 4. So I will be having 4 output lines and 2 control signal. So whenever I am going to design, there is a relation between n and m. N is equal to 2 power m. So whenever I have 2 m, then my n value will be 4. So if I write 2 control lines, anyhow this is fixed, my input is fixed, one input. So now I am going to write 4 output lines. So we have, since we have 2 control lines, I will try this as A and B, where B represents LSB, M represent MSB. So this is my input, these are my outputs. So I can write this output as Y0, 1, 2, 3. So this is called as 1:4 demultiplexer. So this is demux, 1 input, 4 outputs and 2 control lines. So whenever my inputs A and B, whenever my inputs A and B are 0, 0, so what is my output? So whenever my inputs are 0 and 0, so the input is sent to the output line. So my input suppose is D, so the D comes over here. So that is at the output line Y0. Whenever my input 0, 1, my D comes at Y1. 1, 0, D goes to Y2. 1, 1, D goes to Y3. So similarly, if I write basic 1:2 mux, so one input we have one selection line to get output. So this will be A, this will be Y0, this will be Y1, this will be my input D. So this we call it as 1:2 mux. Of course we may have one more enable pin, enable. So this is an additional signal. Whenever E pin is I, so demultiplexer is enabled. Whenever enable pin is I, you are going to enable this demultiplexer. So whenever enable is 0, it is disabled. No matter you give the input, whenever the enable pin goes low, your output is disabled. You don't get any output. So you can see here the truth table. So I can give this as S0 or A. So if I give S0, so Y0, if S0 is 0, my Y0 will be D, and I don't have anything at the Y1 part, it will be 0. So when S0 is 1, this is 0 and you will get this. So this is the truth table of 1:2 demultiplexer. So similarly I have written in this way for 1:4 demultiplexer. So you can just see here. So this input is steered to the output based on what control signals I am giving here. So at a time one of the output will be high, or the input is sent to one of the output lines. So how to write the circuit diagram for this? So now let us discuss about how to write circuit for this. So you can just see here. Of course, we have an enable pin, which is an input signal to the demultiplexer. We have D input, once again it is an input to the demultiplexer, and we have Y0 and Y1 at the output side. So we write this. So you can just see in the previous slide. So what is the equation for Y0? So Y0 can be written as S0 bar and S0 complement into D, and Y1 is written as ES complement of D, sorry, S and D. So Y0 is the output, where I can write this equation using AND gate. I can realize this equation using AND gate. So one of the input is common, that is D. So we have S0 complement, we have S into D. So now I am going to write here S0 as a control signal, S0 inverter over here. So here Y0 is S0 complement and D, of course enable pin is connected. So similarly here enable pin is connected and D is connected, you are connecting S0 here. So this is S0 D. So S0 is connected and this is Y0 Y1. This is how I am going to write circuit diagram for 1:2 demultiplexer. Similarly, we can write the circuit of 1:4 demultiplexer. You can just see here, we have four output lines and we have data input. We have two selection line, we have taken complement over here. So these data lines are connected to all AND gates and these selection lines are connected to each AND gates based on the truth table. We are writing this circuit diagram. This is the circuit of 1:4 demultiplexer. So we have discussed 1:2, then 1:4 demultiplexer. So you can just see the truth table of the same. When the control inputs are 0 0, whenever I am applying the input over here I, so 0 0, we have 4 outputs, Y0, Y1, Y2, Y3. So at a time one of the output is I. So when I give 0 0, Y0 is I. When I give 0 1, y1 will be 1. So that is nothing but whatever the input you are sending, that is sent at the output side. So similarly y2 is, you will get this input at the output side whenever your S0 and S1 is 1 and 0. If it is 1 and 1, it is redirected to the y3. So no matter whatever you give to S0 and S1, if you are not giving any signal, all your output will be 0. Since I am connecting this to AND gate, so AND gates will be disabled. So this is the truth table of 1:4 demultiplexer with active I outputs. Similarly, you will have active low. So just we reverse this in active low by changing 1 to 0 and 0 to 1. So whenever there is an output, we indicate it as 0. No output, we indicate as 1 in case of active low outputs. So this is once again 1:8 demultiplexer. You can see 8 combinations over here. So 8 AND gates, 3 inputs. So one data input is connected to all AND gate, and we have complemented inputs also. So based on these combinations, at least one of the output will be high. So if it is 0 0, your O0, that is first output, will be enabled. So first output, first AND gate output will be enabled. So you are getting this output as logic 1. If it is 0 0 1, similarly second, third, fourth, 5, 6, 7. As such, based on this 3 combinations, one of the output AND gate will be enabled and you will get that particular output. So this is the design of 1:8 line demultiplexer. So this is the IC available, demultiplexer IC. You can just see here, we have inputs, strobe, it's an additional signal. It is also called as enable. So enable and strobe, it is basically to enable or disable the demultiplexer IC. We have a data input here, we have control signals A, B, C, D, we have 4 control signals, supply, VCC, ground. So we have output lines Y0 to Y15. So it is nothing but 1:16 demultiplexer IC. So to control, to select 16 signals, so we have 4 selection lines. So this is an active low input, active low input. So my outputs are also active low. This nibble or this bubble at this output side and input side represents active low signals. So it is reverse of the positive logic. This IC operates or works only when strobe signal is 0 and my data input is 0. So my output will be active low outputs. So this is what the IC 74154 operates. So the demultiplexer ICs are listed below, which are available. You can see this number over here. 74154 represents 1 to 6 demultiplexer, 138 represents 1 to 8 demultiplexer, 155 represents 1 to 4 demultiplexer. So once again, as I discussed in the previous slide, so 74154 is 1:2 demultiplexer, which has got active low strobe as well as active low input. So data is active low and is inverted at the input, and again on any of the outputs it will be active low. When strobe is low, that is 0, when the data is 0, so the control lines A, B and C and D determines which output lines must be low. So based on this A, B, C, D, your output lines will be low. So whenever my data is high, all your output lines are held high. whenever the strobe is high, all the output lines are held high. So you get only output when strobe is low and data is low. That is, since 74154 is a active low 1:16 demultiplexer IC. So we are going to give the input in negative logic. So let us start about decoder. So what is a decoder? Once again, it is a combinational circuit. It's another combinational circuit what you are going to discuss right now. So which accepts a set of inputs that represents a binary number and activates only one output corresponding to that input number. So it once again it has n input lines and 2 to the power n output lines. For decoding we use AND gate as an element. So let us discuss how the decoder is designed. So we will discuss about the decoders. So in the decoder, so as I said, we will have n inputs and we have m outputs. So let me designate this as A0 till A n or n minus 1, I can tell. Output as O0, O1, O n minus 1. So this is decoder. So we have 2 power n input codes and only one output is I. Out of this many outputs, only one output is I based on what kind of input you are generating. So for this input combinations, only one of the output will be I and all other outputs will be low. So how exactly? Let us discuss the truth table of this. So 3:8 decoder. I am taking an example of 3:8 decoder. So 3 to line decoder, we have, I am taking 3:8 decoder where we have n and m. So we have here 8 output lines. So O0, O1, this is O2 and O7. We have A, B and C. So this C represents MSB and A represents LSB. So how do I write truth table for this? I write 3 inputs. So we have 2 to the power of n input codes here. So now A, LSB, B, C, C is MSB. I have 7 outputs. So I am going to write here O0, O1, O2, O3, O7. 0 to 7, that is nothing but 8 outputs. So O0 to O7 we have 8 outputs and 3 inputs. So let me write the input combinations. Since we have 3 inputs, I am going to generate 2 power 3 input codes. So that is nothing but 2 power 3, 8 codes. 2 power 3, 8 codes. The codes I am going to write here 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So now I have written all codes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So at a time, whenever my input to 3 to 8 decoder is 0, 0, 0. So my output is 1. O0 is 1, the rest all will be 0. So whenever it is 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1. So output to the decoder is O1, the rest all will be 0. Out of this many output lines, at a time a single output line is activated, the rest are all inactive. So only one output line will be activated. So similarly over here I write for all 8 combinations I am going to get output based on the code what you are giving at the input side. So you can just see in the truth table only one output line is active at a time. So this output will be active only when the code what I have given, it is based on the code what I have given. You can just see the circuit diagram over here. So I have written the same truth table here. You can just see 3 combinations A, B, C. This represents MSB, LSB, and this is complement of A, complement of B, complement of C. So you have got 7 AND gates, and 0 to 7 represents 8 outputs. So at a time one of the output will be I. So whenever these 3 are 0, that is A complement, B complement, C complement. So that is given here. This A complement 0 means output of this inverter is logic 1, logic 1, logic 1. So this 1 will come over here, and we have input to this is once again, you can just see over here connected C. This line is connected to B, output of the inverter, B line, A line 1, this becomes 1 and this becomes logic 1. So all of the input to this multiplexers will be logic 1. So input of this AND gate is logic 1. You can just see here LSB A, complement of A bar, A is A complement, so it is connected here, B complement is connected here, C complement is connected to this gate. Whenever I give 0, 0, 0, complement of this is 1, 1, 1, all 3 ones are connected to the input of first AND gate. So wherein you will be having my output as logic 1, that is nothing but A complement, B complement, C complement. Similarly, so we have all 8 combinations over here based on the input what we are giving, that particular line or particular gate will be I or enabled, and we will get the output. So this is 3 to 8 line decoder circuit diagram. So you can just see 74138 is once again 3 to 1 is to 8 decoder. You can just see here MSB connected to all 7 lines. So this is a circuit IC of decoder 74LS138. This decoder has got 3 is to 8, 3 inputs, 8 output lines, and additional pin called enable. So this enable has been given input with the 3 signals. The signals are E1 bar, E2 bar and E3, that is E1 complement, E2 complement and E3. So E1 complement is active low, E2 complement is active low E3 is active I. So whenever you need to operate this decoder, so these two lines should be 0, that is active low, and E3 line should be active high. Then only it will respond to the inputs given to this decoder. So no matter if any one of these three doesn't follow this, obey the rule, like these should be active low, these two should be active low, and these should be active high. So your decoder is disabled. So you can just see over in the truth table, if E3, E1 complement, E2 complement, both are active low, and E3 is active high, then only it will respond whatever the input you give to the decoder. Suppose other than this you are going to give any of these combinations, this decoder is disabled. So this is the logic diagram of 74138, that is nothing but 3:8 decoder with 3 enable pins and 3 input pins and 8 output pins. So this is 3-bit decoder. So you can just see the decoder truth table. So we have inputs over here, enable pins. As I discussed, we have 3 enable pins. That chip 74138 has got 3 enable pins. Need not be same for all ICs. So especially this 74138, they have got 2 active low pins and 1 active high pins, and it has got 3 input signals and 7 output signals. So no, you can just see these combinations. If this enable to is I, so this is violating the rule, so you will not get the output. So when you will get the output, since it is an active low output, you can just see here. So if my enable pin to E2 is active I, no matter whatever you give here, whatever may be your input lines, your output, all the output lines will be held high. So similarly here, if I give E1 complement as I input, whatever may be the input of E3 and E2 and input signals, all your output will be held high. So the third case, so whatever may be the input of E1 and E2, if my E3 pin, enable 3 pin is low, all your output will be held high. So when actually you will get exactly you will get the output. So when I make E3 high, E1 low and E2 low, and I start giving my codes or combinations. So if I am giving all 3 A0, A1, A2 low, then my first output, I will get my output at first gate, that is O0. Since it is complement, it is active low. So similarly, if you take up the second combination, it is 1 0 0 1, so it will be O1. So you can just see you are getting the active low output based on these 3 lines, input lines plus enable lines. So these are the combinations that I am going to generate using 74138 decoder. So this decoder has got 3 enable pins. Let us discuss one of the application example using decoder. You can just see here, we have this one example I have taken. Let me give you the live applications where exactly this decoder is used. So you can just see here, this is a decoder, 4 input A0, A1, A2 and A3. We have got 16 combinations output. So we call this decoder as port address decoder, since I am using this decoder to address, to select many devices. So output of this decoders, you can just see, out of 15 we are using only 6 outputs. You can connect as much, it is left unused. So anytime it can be reconnected or used. These lines can be either unused or you can connect to any other IO ports. Since you have a system computer, we have processor or a controller which controls multiple IO devices. So we have multiple IO devices, as you know, printers, keyboards, monitor, modem, scanner. As such, many IO devices are connected to processor. So how this processor going to recognize or it's activating these ports? So let us see here. So output IO port address we have in processor, that port addresses are connected to the lines, output lines of the processor. IO port address processor is connected to the input lines of decoder, and of course we have an enable pin which is active low here. So anytime I can enable this decoder or I can disable by giving appropriate signal over here. So this is request, as you know, the processor will request services or grant permissions to the IO devices. I think you know this IO request line from the processor will be requesting whichever the service it needs. For example, IO request, this is connected to enable. So this line is requesting whenever there is a request from the processor, this output of this will be active low. If it is 0, and this decoder will be enabled. So we can see here, whenever I give 0 0 0, you can see 0 is connected to printer. So whenever I give 0 0 1, so your output 1, the second output will be activated, so that is active low, so which connects to the enable pin of this keyboard. So this gets activated. So we have connected printer, keyboard, monitor, modem, scanner. At a time, any one can be activated over here whenever the signal appears over here. This is how I can make use of decoder for port address and as well as connecting it to IO ports. So there is a data bus direct connections with all of these devices from the processor to the ports. So all of these data lines are connected to each of the device. So at a time I can activate individual IO ports by giving this specific code. So 4:16, now decoder, you have this 4 inputs. Based on that, any one of this code, one output will be active. So that particular port will be activated and this can communicate with particular port. So this is one of the application of, as such there are multiple applications of decoder. So let us summarize. So about the session what we have discussed and analyzed. So the previous session we discussed multiplexer. I continued in this session how to design higher order marks using lower order multiplexer. So and then we have discussed what is the operation of demultiplexers, then how to design demultiplexers, the different ICs available demultiplexers, and then decoders design, how demultiplexer is different from multiplexer and how the decoder is different from demultiplexer. So we have discussed decoder, block diagram, decoder truth table, and one of the application of decoder I have taken as connecting it to IO ports. So this because basically we are dealing with only combinational circuits. So, combinational circuits design. So, that is what we are being designing. So, we have designed 3 circuits, that is multiplexers, demultiplexers, decoders. We have analyzed and designed these combination circuits and the operation of it, where exactly these circuits are being used or applied in future. So, based on this, I conclude that these various combinational circuits are used in communication lines and communication circuits. So, this plays a major vital role in communication field. So, the designing of this devices or circuits are very important for the applications.